Okay, so for the longest time, I've been wanting to talk about Attraction Flow, this brand new combat mechanic for Kingdom Hearts 3 that Square Enix were clearly pushing hard. They were clearly very proud to bring Disney theme park rides into the combat system, which I think does totally make sense when looking at Kingdom Hearts. If any game's going to do it, it's obviously going to be Kingdom Hearts. But man, this has to be the most forgettable new mechanic that a Kingdom Hearts game, I think, has ever incorporated. This is literally one of the very first things we saw when we first saw Kingdom Hearts 3 in action. They were very proud of the pirate ship as well as the roller coaster. And don't get me wrong, I think collectively all of us were in absolute awe over this, whilst also thinking to ourselves, how does this work? This very much does resemble that of a summon, except you're using a theme park ride, which again just sounds ridiculous, and this is such a Kingdom Hearts thing, man. I deadass don't think that I've seen a single person online praising the Attraction Flow ride system, being like, yeah man, wow, dude, like forget drive forms, forget limit attacks, forget summons, this is the new bee's knees. And it was even more hilarious to see that when the critical mode update came out for Kingdom Hearts 3, Square Enix quite literally introduced the critical converter ability that actually disables the Attraction Flow ride system. Whenever I see Kingdom Hearts 3 footage, I never see the use of Attraction Flow rides. Whenever I personally play it, I am playing critical and I turn critical converter on to disable them. Aside from video purposes, have not used the Attraction Flow rides since my first initial playthrough of the game. The crazy thing about this is this mechanic right here is one of the strongest weapons that Sora has at his disposal. Yes, a Disney theme park ride. That doesn't really come as a surprise, I guess you could say, because if a massive pirate ship came flying at your forehead, oh, it would hurt. These things are insanely overpowered, and mainly because there is not a single resource cost or consequence behind actually using them. The only other similar situation commands that is like this is team attacks, though looking at it, I wouldn't say that a team attack is as powerful as an Attraction Flow ride. This is also why you don't see Attraction Flow ride prompts appearing during very strong boss fights. Can you imagine if Sora whipped out a f***ing roller coaster, or a teacup, or a spaceship, or a damn pirate ship in the middle of the Xehanort fight? Like, Xehanort just sitting there like, okay, well, fuck me, I guess. Like, I can't do anything about this. I genuinely can't remember if there are any Attraction Flow ride prompts during the final Xehanort fight. It's actually been that long. If we look at the Link summon system, there is a consequence to using that. It will expend all of your MP. So you've got to be a little bit mindful about utilizing summons in the game. Do you want to reserve your MP for the use of healing and magic, or do you want to use it all for a Link? Attraction Flow? Absolutely, who gives a shit? If the triangle prompt appears, you may as well use it. The other jarring thing about this mechanic is there was never really a narrative explanation on how just all of a sudden in Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora can quite literally conjure Disneyland before him. It's thought that the Attraction Flow ride system is a form of reality shift, which was another mechanic that was introduced in Dream Drop Distance, something that both Sora and Riku could use within the realm of sleep. Obviously, once Sora returns from the realm of sleep, he can now use flow motion within the realm of light, outside of the realm of sleep. So this would naturally mean that the same could be considered for that of reality shift. He brings that power through with him and can now all of a sudden summon Disney theme park rides. Still though, it's just like, okay, cool, I can summon Roller Coaster without Yensid being like, hey, dude, you can now summon Roller Coaster. I always just thought to myself that with seeing the Attraction Flow rides at first within those initial trailers, I'm sure that when we go to Yensid to get the new gears, just in similar fashion to Kingdom Hearts 2 when we got the new outfit, that's when we kind of learn about how we can wield two Keyblades. The same would happen for Attraction Flow ride. Maybe something to do with Sora's time in the realm of sleep, on top of also having this new outfit enables him to summon forth a f***ing pirate ship. I asked the good folks over on Twitter what they thought about Attraction Flow and if we should see this for the future of Kingdom Hearts. looking at Kingdom Hearts 4, you know, like just Sora being able to summon the Mickey Mouse Ferris wheel in the Scrambled Crossing. And out of the more than 500 different responses that I got, pretty much everyone was like, no, let it die in Kingdom Hearts 3, we don't need this. It wasn't really that enjoyable to use in the first place. It's sort of that thing for when you do your first run of Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, it was a cool idea. Yeah, it's a cool gimmick. I don't think anyone's in a rush to kind of get it back or see an evolution of it. I did see some comments talking about how if it was incorporated into the link system where you actually have to use a resource in order to use the attraction flow rides, then perhaps maybe the sort of perception towards this mechanic would be a little bit more positive. But because of the fact that these things are so strong and that they are completely situational, there's simply no consequence to using them, and that most people would rather just use the forms anyway. They don't really serve too much purpose in the overall grand scheme of the mechanics that are at your disposal. I did see some people talking about the forced sequences where you absolutely are required to use the attraction flow ride in order to complete the combat encounter. So looking at like the Rock Titan fight, although you're not actually required to use it, it is kind of cool to use because that attraction flow ride is incorporated into the fight in a unique sense, as well as looking at the 10,000 Heartless fight in the Keyblade Graveyard. Those times, admittedly for myself too, were actually kind of enjoyable. And I think you have to kind of look at it too, like, this is something that clearly not many people actually like and enjoy, and if they've got the option to, they just turn it off, they disable it. We may as well use the slot for attraction flow, looking at Kingdom Hearts 4, for something entirely different. Just looking at the world of Quadratum and that it's a completely separate, different reality, I would say that the powers of Reality Shift, if that's what attraction flow rides are truly, then that will likely be disabled. It sort of almost seems as if Sora's not able to use even flow motion when looking at Quadratum, so I would only assume that the same sort of would apply for attraction flow rides. And also, I think it's pretty clear from Square Enix's point of view that not really many people enjoyed using these. I'll tell you one cool thing about attraction flow rides though is if you do press R3, click down that analog stick while using some of them, you will go into first person mode perspective. Square Enix were originally having this as just the default camera angle for when using these rides, but they did think to themselves, yeah, some people might get nauseous over this. Oh yeah, and if you're on the PC version of KH3, there is a way to enable infinite use of the attraction flow rides and using Splash Run endlessly to create your very own personal roller coaster made out of a water stream is so much fun. Personally though, I do not want to see these return in the slightest. Oftentimes, because of Critical Converter, I do forget that this is even a thing aside from those forced sequences. I think also too, when looking at the situation command system, that is something that does need to be not entirely reworked if it is going to return for Kingdom Hearts 4, but something that should be adjusted slightly. I feel like having all of these different drive forms at your disposal and that you can switch between multiple different ones on the fly, while that is definitely cool, there is, again, no resource or consequence behind actually using them. At least when we look at Kingdom Hearts 2, you had a gauge that was dedicated towards utilizing the drive system. Situation command system basically provides Sora with a ton of power without much cost in the process. And while of course the game is sort of designed around that, and it's not to say that Kingdom Hearts 3 is easy mode or anything, I do hope that Kingdom Hearts 4 introduces an evolved version of the situation command system. However, just chucking my 2 cents into the pot, I'd love to know what the rest of you guys here on YouTube think about the attraction flow ride system. Did you enjoy it? Are you one of those rare specimens that actually enjoyed the system? I would love to know. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much as always to my Turkey-tastic patrons. I appreciate the support. Big love to you guys. Be sure to check out my other social media platforms. And with all that being said, I'm Cynical. Hopefully having a good one, and we'll talk real soon.